Oh, God. Ugh. 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 Help. Help! I'm addicted. I'm addicted. I'm back in the magic clutches. No. Oh, God. No, we're back. Hey, everybody. How's it going? Welcome to another Magic the Gathering unboxing. So I was at my local store today, and I saw they had restock in the Magic the Gathering Origins Fat Packs, which is 9 booster packs each. And since last time they didn't have them, and I ended up getting the Tarkir one or whatever it was, or Fate Reforged, I picked up 2 of them. For those who are looking for fight nights, you know, before we get into the unboxing and stuff, which we're gonna get into, put that there. I have heard all the cries and all the pleas and all the affirmation that you want to see more Magic stuff on the channel. Not like a huge amount of it, but like fight nights, duels, that kind of thing. And I'm actually looking into avenues of doing that. I actually got hooked up with a contact over at Wizards particularly, so there might be some officially endorsed Magic stuff happening in the future if I'm lucky. And me and Classy Dicks TV, or my friend Mike, that I know him as, are going to be doing a better, highly productive kind of like fight night thing, maybe like once a month to start off, to see how it goes. It'll be duels, like him versus me. It'll be him, me, and a few other friends. We could do like a Commander series. You know, this could be a lot of fun things in the future. Things that we're kind of talking about and ironing out now. Chances are the first episode, when we do one, is not going to be like anything wild. It'll just be some basic stuff. And if things go well, we could do deck buildings, we could do more unboxings, and if we do get the endorsement from Wizards to do like official more Magic stuff, I would be happy to do a bunch of other things. And I've been brainstorming some stuff I could do with the digital version of Magic every so often on my channel. Either way, I'm back in the clutches of wonderful Magic the Gathering, and I want to unbox these things so badly. They've been sitting in my room all day long, waiting for me to get to the point where I'm ready to record this particular episode once everything else was recorded. Finally there, and I'm ready to pop these suckers wide open. Origins was the first thing that I played back when I played with Mike a few weeks ago, or 2 weeks ago, or whatever. It's the thing that got me back into it. So I'm excited to see what I get, if any of it is remotely familiar to me, and just to see what we get playing. So I am super excited. Let's pop the first pack right now. I'm gonna put this way over there, and I do have my keys on me this time, so this will be a little bit less of a painful opening. I still don't have like a knife in here because I just don't trust myself to have sharp objects near me, and I have a trusty Magic trash bag sitting by. Ugh, see you later, plastic. God, that feels good. We'll be sliding this thing right off. Ah. Hello, beautiful. How are you? Delicious. And then we've got, of course, the stuff on the inside, like Ignite Your Week at your local gaming store, with all the cards and so on, which I'll just put to the side. I'll probably keep at least keep one of them, but I won't keep the second one. And then I can just kind of put this on the ground. Perfect. Hopefully we see it on the other camera. Still getting used to the 2-camera thing. By the way, for those who say, Mathis, you don't clean your desk, motherfucker, I Windexed this thing again. I Windexed it before the last episode. I Windexed it this episode. It's these rings, they're just stuck. I don't know what to tell you. Anyway, here we go. We'll be popping this sucker open now. Oh yeah. So we get 9 boosters in here. So let's go ahead and take a look at what we're gonna have, and a bunch of other things. It looks like we got some lands and some more boosters. More boxes to hold my decks that I'll eventually need. Another D20. I just like the fact that they give you a D20 with every one. I'm going to have more D20s than I know what to do with. Ugh. First, let's slap open, make some room. So I think these are all just lands. Like, I'm assuming they just give you a bunch of lands with each one so that you can just, I don't know, build a deck, which is, you know, fantastic. I'm happy about it. So these are the lands right here. Boom. I'm just going to put these off to the side. And we've got our first 8 packs right here. And then the next one is in here. I was thinking, you know, as I was buying Magic and thinking about Magic, which has been happening a lot lately, I've been just thinking more and more about Magic the Gathering. I'll get that D20 afterward. like the kinds of decks I want to build, just thinking back to the days that I used to play. And one of the deck I remember talking to you about before was my white weenie and my white phase deck. I played a lot of white, which is cool. I like playing white decks, and I was thinking, what kind of deck do I want to build? Like, what kind of fun deck could I build? I was never a huge fan of red, but another one there's two colors I was rather a big fan of. I know people hate this color, blue. I like blue a lot, and I'll talk about why here as we unbox some of this stuff. And I really like green. Green is always fun. Big beasts just trampling, and black as well. But I'm thinking one of the decks I'm going to want to build is a blue-black deck. Here's the 9 boosters, by the way. A blue-black deck, blue-black control. I have fun doing that kind of thing where I'm like counterspelling and bouncing and boomeranging things back and controlling graveyards. That is fun to me. So that's one of the decks I'm going to probably end up building at some point when I learn a little bit more about the cards and actually build some stuff. We'll start cracking these suckers open. But I was thinking, why do I like it so much? And one of the big reasons I think I like it so much is that back when I was really into Magic, like I think my biggest Magic phase was early college, 2004, 2005, which dates me a little bit. And I had this friend. His name was Javier. Javier was a good dude. I played a lot of video games with him and a lot of card games with him. He was a big Magic guy, to the point where he eventually, after college, opened up his own game store. Really good guy. And I would play Magic with him a lot. He helped me build a lot of my decks. And this is just a token thing. He helped me build a lot of my decks. But one of the things he was very, very good at is just building decks. He was very good at it. He helped me build. But he was very good at building two particular types of decks that I remember. And I'll get to the cards here in a minute. He had fantastic straight blue deck. He had a 100-something card blue deck that he would play every so often that was just so fucking draw heavy. It was ridiculous. I remember one card he had. I don't know if it was that one or another blue deck he had. Thieving Magpie. Very good card, or annoying card, I remember. And then another one he would run was green, but it wasn't really your typical big beast green. It was an enchantment green card. He would run an enchantress or something in it. And I just remember it being super fucking annoying. Point is, he was really good at Magic. He taught me a lot of what I knew and helped me build a lot of the decks that I built and really got me into Magic. And he was like my hook back in the day, back in the early 2000s, where I first got into Magic. And I'd love to just hook back up with him and just see how he's doing and see if I can do anything as far as that's concerned, and maybe even play with him another day, which would be cool. Anyway. That being said, let's get to the cards. I cracked open the first pack. I'll probably do what I did last time. We'll have, 3 separate piles and stuff. So we've got, I'm not going to go through the commons too much, unless it's something particularly interesting. You may play this at any time, Defender. So some interesting blue stuff, but nothing amazing. Because I have so many packs to open, and I want to keep this, relatively, feasible. I'll do what I did last time. I'll ignore the commons for now, and I'll just look at the uncommons and rares. So we got uncommon Warhorn. It's an artifact. Attacking creature you control gets +1, which is cool. Valor in arms. It's an enchantment. Whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control, creatures you control get +1/+1 until end of turn. So really quick. That's actually good. That's an enchantment, actually. So that's pretty decent. Towergeist, blue creature. Flying for 4. When Towergeist enters the battlefield, look at the top 2 cards of your library. Put one of them into your hand and the other into your graveyard. So that's interesting. So it's like a draw, but you could draw 2 really good cards that work well with each other and have to put one in the graveyard. Interesting. And then our rare is Relic Seeker. Renown 1 when he's a 2/2 for 2. When this creature deals combat damage to a player, if it isn't renowned, put a +1/+1 counter on it and it becomes renowned. I think I drew this in the draft that we ended up playing back at Mike's house. I'm also going to make sure I'm not too far away from the microphone. I think I'm doing all right. Also, when he becomes renowned, you may search your library for an equipment card, reveal it, put it into your hand, then shuffle your library. So a artifact white deck could be good. He would be good for that, I guess. Put that there. And we have a foil common, Fairy Miscreant, flying 1/1 for 1. See him? Bam. Let's see. Flying Miscreant. He's a flying creature. When Fairy Miscreant enters battlefield, if you control another creature named Fairy Miscreant, draw a card. So, actually, that could be really cool for a draw deck, a blue deck. I think that could be a very good common. I'll put the foil here. And then, of course, the Plains card, which I will just slap off to the side. But like I said, I would love to get back in touch with Javier if I could. The dude, I wonder if he's still running his game shop. That was many, many years ago, and he was a little bit older than me, and so he was out of college before I was. Not that I was getting out of college with a graduation or anything. Yeah, putting this in there for now. There we go. Just to keep it there. But good dude, and I miss him a lot. I miss a lot of my college friends a lot. So far, we're getting a couple of already repeats, which is good. I feel like we'll get a lot of repeats here. And there we go. Shambling Ghoul. Interested in getting some black cards because a blue-black control deck could be a lot of fun. So here we go with our uncommons here. Magmatic Insight. As an additional cost of Magmatic Insight, just discard a land card, draw 2 cards. Interesting. This is a 1-mana sorcery. Blood Cursed Knight. He's a white-black creature. He is a 3/2 for 3, 1 colorless, 1 white, and 1 black. As long as you control an enchantment, Blood Cursed Knight gets +1/+1 and has lifelink. That's awesome. Better look at him. If this ends up going too long, we'll end up skipping a lot of the uncommons, by the way, and going straight to the rares. Anchor to the Aether. Put target creature on top of its owner's library and scry 1, which is good. In case you don't know what scrying is, I get to look at the top of my library, and I believe I get to decide whether it goes at the top or the bottom of my library if I like it or if I don't. Also, thank you, by the way, I want to say to all those who were helpful and clarified some of the rules. I realized after I read what you guys said that I didn't quite interpret some of the rules the proper way last time. So we actually got a rare land card. We'll put it into here. Take a look. It is Shivan Reef. I can add 1 any colorless mana to my pool, or add 1 blue or 1 red into my mana pool. Shivan Reef deals 1 damage to you. So it's colorless unless I want it to be red or blue, and if I decide it's one of those, I have to take a damage. Interesting. I'm not sure how useful that could be, but, you know, interesting, to say the least. I'm sure there's uses for it. Maybe in a red deck, I guess? I don't know. I feel like red decks, you're typically more doing damage to yourself and others than you are anything else. Actually, I'm going to start throwing these over here. The trash bag's far away, but not concerned. Alrighty, so we've got some commons here. Mage Ring Bully, he has to attack, if I remember correctly. Grasp of the Hieromancer. Cool. Alrighty, like I said, I'm seeing a lot of repeats here so far as commons are concerned. And like I said, I don't think it's a bad thing. Let's see. We can get rid of these, the basic land cards and all that stuff. Alright, Ravaging Blaze. X +2 red for its mana cost. Ravaging Blaze deals X damage to target creature. Spell Mastery. If there are 2 or more instant or sorcery cards in your graveyard, Ravaging Blaze also deals X damage to that creature's controller. Interesting. So that could be pretty cool. Better look. War Oracle. It's 3/3 for 4. Lifelink, which is good. Renown. When this creature deals combat damage to a player, if it isn't renowned, put +1/+1 counter on it, and it becomes renowned. Cool. Pretty simple, straightforward. Undercity Troll. A 2/2 for 2 with renowned, so we know what that does. And I can pay 3 and regenerate the Undercity Troll. So this next time this creature would be destroyed this turn, it isn't. Instead, tap it, remove all damage from it, and remove it from combat. So I can stop it from dying, which is pretty neat. The last one is Thopter Spy Network. It's a blue for 4. Enchantment. Better look for you before I read it. At the beginning of your upkeep, if you control an artifact, put a 1/1 colorless Thopter artifact creature token with flying onto the battlefield. Whenever 1 or more artifact creatures you control deal combat damage to a player, draw a card. So I can see an entire deck being built around this card. If you control an artifact, put a 1/1 colorless Thopter artifact creature token. Do they just multiply over time? It doesn't say for every artifact I control. It just says if I control an artifact. So I think I only get 1 every time, but whenever 1 or more artifact creatures deal damage, I get to draw a card. So I could just build up this Thopter network, essentially, and just hit the enemy for, 2 or more every turn, especially if they can't block any flying, and I can just draw like crazy. That's kind of awesome. I like it a lot. All right. Next one. Already we're at almost fucking 20 minutes, so we might have to skip the uncommons and go, whoop, sorry about that. Go straight to the rares. So, you know, just some basic stuff. What is that? Claustrophobic enchant creature. When claustrophobia enters the battlefield, tap enchanted creature. Enchanted creature doesn't untap during its controller's untap step, so I could just tap a creature permanently with that. That's awesome. I like that. Each creature controls ++++3. Counter target spell unless its controller pays X. That's an annoying blue card. Put it that way. Especially if I want to stop it. Sigil Starfish. So I know what this card is because before I know I said I wasn't going to look at the uncommons, but this one is hilarious. There's a little story behind this one. Sigil Starfish was called Patrick. My friend Mike, when we were doing the draft, he actually drafted this card, and he had Patrick on the field almost every time he played. It's 0/3. You don't use it to attack. You just fucking scry. At the end of everybody's fucking turn, you just scry, 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 scry. So especially, well, in a duel in particular, at the end of the enemy's turn, you scry, you look, you get to kind of control your draw. Again, scry, you look at the top card of your library, you put it on top, you leave it on top, or you put it under and get rid of it. It helps just control how you're going to end up playing the game. So scry 1, you just draw scry 1 card. Interesting. Very cool. And then this one I actually saw on Spellslingers. I've been binging Spellslingers like crazy lately. So this is Mana Gorger Hydra. He is a... Oh, no, this is not the same one. I lied. This is a different Hydra. Trample. So he's 1 with Trample. Whenever a player casts a spell, put a +1/+1 counter on Mana Gorger Hydra. So he just fucking gets fat fast. Whenever a player casts a spell. So it could be me, and it could be the opponent. So that would be really, really good early on. A little dangerous to run against like a red deck because they would probably just kill it super fast before you get a chance, but it's still neat. All right, so back, we're just gonna go I'm just gonna go through some of this stuff. See, this right here would run great in a blue-black deck. Read the Bones. It's just a sorcery for 3 mana. Scry 2, then draw 2 cards. You lose 2 life. So I hit myself, but I could scry, and then if I really like them, I could just draw them immediately, or I can just get rid of them, draw 2 cards, or a mix of that. So that's really, really useful. Again, I want to run a blue-black deck, a blue-black control. I'll be the most hated man in the universe, but I don't care. So again, I'm going to skip right to the rares. And we got some cool stuff, and land and all that stuff we're going to get rid of. We have a holographic common. He's just a 0/4 Ox. I actually had him in my draft deck. So our rare is Gilt Leaf Winnower. Winnower? Sure. Menace. This creature can't be blocked except by 2 or more creatures, so it has to be blocked by 2 or more creatures. When Gilt Leaf Winnower enters battlefield, you may destroy target non-elf creature whose power and toughness aren't equal. So anything that's not a 3/3, 2/2, 1/1, etc. can be destroyed. 4/4, 5/5. You get the picture. Cool. I like it. I like this a little bit more than I like the last cards that I opened, only because the last cards that I opened were so very heavily duo colored focused. So I'm glad that that's not the case on this one. I'll just do a quick, like, if you guys are interested and you recognize the cards and you're like, that's a really good common, you know, you can tell me in the comment section. But I'm just going to get rid of this stuff for now. And we got a black rare. This one is Grave Blade Marauder. He is a 1/4 for 3. Death Touch. Any amount of damage this deals to a creature is enough to destroy it. So blocking him is scary, unless you want to block him with a bunch of weenies, like weenie tokens, if like you're a white weenie deck. Whenever Graveblade Marauder deals combat damage to a player, that player loses life equal to the number of creatures in your graveyard. Oh, that sounds really bad. So you have to sacrifice, like, you want to kill him. The thing is, he would be good if you could buff his health, because he's one of those creatures that, like, you would sack a creature just to get him off the battlefield, just to block him, kill him, and you'll die in the process, but it was worth it because now he can't touch you. If I can, you know, run him in, like, a black-green deck or something where I could give him, like, Titanic Growth or Titanic Overgrowth or something where I can just buff him ridiculously, it would maybe be worth it. Or a white deck, a black-white deck where I can just buff his health. A lot of white spells allow you to do that. Or I can run an instant where I can heal him or something, you know? That kind of thing would be good. So good, some combos that I'm thinking off the top of my head. Again, I'm out of the Magic Circle here I've been out of the Magic Circle for a while, so my theory crafting maybe not as top of the line as some others. That's interesting. Demolish. Catacomb Slug has a 2/6 for 5. Interesting. Negate, counter target, non-creature spell. You know, some basic control stuff. Artifact, instance. So if you saw anything cool there, let me know. And we got another black rare, which is awesome. It is Kodo-Fed Soul Hoarder. And he's a 6/6 for 6 with 4 colorless and 2 black. Flying. Whenever a permanent owned by another player is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, you draw a card and lose 1 life. That's weird. So whenever a permanent owned by another player is put into a graveyard, so it's a land, that's an enchantment, that's a token, that's a creature, I draw a card and lose a life. I don't have a choice. I have to draw a card and lose a life. Again, interesting. I'm not quite sure if that would be considered really, really good or really, really bad. I have a feeling maybe a little bit of both. Like, it depends on the situation. Alrighty. Also, I forgot to put the token, the Ox token, dude, over where the other one is. Ah, fucker. I shouldn't have done it. What did I do with them? I might have just put them in the pile like an idiot. Nah, gotta get this. Okay. Cool. Here we go. Subterranean Scout. Blah, blah, blah. You're probably seeing, like I said yourself, a lot of repeats like I have been. So there's that. To Rogue's Pass. Oh, that's really good. Target creature can't be blocked this turn. That's pretty neat. So we got a green rare this time around. And Swift Reckoning. That is an uncommon holo. Very nice. He is Spellmaster if there are 2 or more instant and sorcery. That's neat. Cards in your graveyard, you may cast Swift Reckoning as though it had Flash. Interesting. I get to destroy a target tapped creature. So we go Herald of the Pantheon. It is a 2/2 for 2. Enchantment spells you cast cost 1 less. Whenever you cast an enchantment spell, you gain 1 life. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward. It's basically for green enchantment decks, which is, again, something I remember playing a lot against when I was in college. I remember my table, man. Like opening this stuff is just bringing me back to the Magic table back in the cafeteria and stuff. God, it was cool. All my friends played. It was cool to play them. Some of my friends had some really old cards. It was just, I just miss it. I forget what the series was that came out when I was playing, but if I look it up, I'm sure I'll remember. I'm sure it will be familiar to me. So, we'll go and put these over here. And our rare is an enchantment white, Sigil of the Empty Throne. So Sigil of the Empty Throne is an enchantment for 5 mana. Whenever you cast an enchantment spell, put a 4/4 white angel creature token with flying onto the battlefield. So a white enchantment deck. White-green enchantment could be very powerful with the 2 cards that I just picked up. That'd be cool. And that's our first box. Okay, that's our first box. I'm going to move these cards off to the side, and I will cut to when I am popping open the next box. So I'll see you guys there. All right, round 2. Let's pop this puppy open. There's some primal satisfaction from just prying these things open. All right, let's do it on my lap. It's a bit easier on my lap. You know what I'm saying? It's easier on my lap. Bring it, ladies. Right on my lap. Okay. Why is this one harder? It's like the seal on this side is tighter. Gotta pop the seal, baby. Pop it. Pop it. Pop it. Okay. I popped it. Be proud. I did it. That feels so good. So good. Okay, the usual. We'll just move this off to the side over here for now. This is the, don't steal it thing. Move this here. Okay, another D20, more lands, more freaking boxes, blah, blah, blah. All right. I remember back in, God, I feel like an old fucking man. I'm sorry. Sorry if this bores you while I'm just kind of peeling the plastic off and getting these things at the ready. But, like, there were times where I would... So, when I first went to college, I couldn't drive. I didn't have a license. It's really weird, I know. But I just didn't have one, so my mom would have to drop me off at school every day. And I commuted. It was a community college. They didn't have dorms or anything. But there was times where my mom had to work late. And luckily, most of my friends drove. So if I had to stay late, they would stay late with me a lot of the time. And they would just hang out with me and stuff. And there were so many times we would just stay late till the janitors were mopping the floors in that school, playing Magic cards or playing D&D, one or the other. And God, those were some fun times. Back when the only thing I had to worry about was going to work and then spending my money on video games because I didn't have any fucking bills to pay because I lived with my parents. So, you know how that do. Miss it. All right, let's get down to the brass fucking tacks. You know what I'm saying, baby? You know what I'm saying. Okay, boom, boom, boom. Ooh, what's this? So we got, what is this? You can mark this card to represent a double-faced planeswalker in your library or hand. I don't know what that means. I don't know, that's like a weird, like, rules thing, I think. Okay, we've got a black creature, a black sorcery, a rare black sorcery. Languish for 4 mana. Ah, don't you go to sleep on me, computer. I'm in the middle of recording, you piece of shit. There we go. Languish. So for 4 mana, all creatures, that means mine and theirs, get -4/-4 till end of turn. That seems really dangerous. I don't know what kind of deck you'd want to run that in, and I'd be curious to hear what you guys say in the comments section about, like, what kind of deck is good for that. All right, there we go. Boom, 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 boom. Get through all these. Warhorn, we've already seen. We got a foil something back there. Whoa, we got a foil. Whoa, we got a foil rare? I didn't know that could happen. Like, we got 2 rares. That's awesome. All right, let's go with the non-foil one first. Honored Hierarch. It's a green. 1 mana. He's a 1/1. He's got Renown, so you get +1/+1 if you deal combat damage to a player. As long as Honored Hierarch is Renowned, it has Vigilance and tap, add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool. So this is like an amazing, amazing turn 1 card, especially in a duo card deck. There are a lot of cards out there that are, for instance, there's an elf out there that's like a 1 cast card they could put out. He's a 1/1. Really all you want to do is use him to use it for mana. But him, you get him out there, you want him on turn 1 before he has anything to do anything. You tap, you use him, the next turn you attack, and you hopefully hit the player, and then he's a 2/2 from there on out, and he's any color mana you want. That's cool. The other one we got was Soulblade Jin, which is the foil rare, which is kind of awesome. He is flying for 5 mana. He's 4/3. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, creatures you control get +1 and +1 until end of turn. Cool. I like that. I'm going to put him in my rare pile. I don't know why I've decided that particular foil goes in my rare pile. I just have. So bear with me. And after this, I'm having a sandwich. All right. Boom, boom, boom. These look like there's some new stuff in here, at least stuff that I'm not recognizing. So hopefully you're noticing it as well. There's a land here. Interesting. More foil rares, please. That would be pretty sweet. We got another blue rare, and then your usual. So the blue rare is Harbinger of the Tides. He is a 2/2 for 2. You may cast Harbinger of the Tides as though it had flash if you pay 2 more. So for extra 2 mana, I can make him instant. When Harbinger of the Tides enters the battlefield, you may return target tapped creature an opponent controls to its owner's hand. So it comes with a free boomerang effect, basically. So if they tap something to use an ability or to attack me and I don't like that particular creature, I can bounce him back for 4 mana if I want, for 2 mana if I wait and be patient. So that's interesting. All right. I'm not seeing... Oh, that looks like a pacifism. Suppression bonds. Enchant non-land permanent. Enchanted permanent can't attack or block, and its activated abilities can't be activated. Sounds like pacifism to me. Cool. We will put these here. Whoa. It's a mythic. That's interesting. And it is a Planeswalker mythic. That is cool as fuck. So we got Nissa Vastwood Seer. And then the Planeswalker version of her. Cool. So when Nissa Vastwood Seer, she's a 3 for 2/2. When she enters the battlefield, you may search your library for a basic forest card, reveal it, put it into your hand, then shuffle your library. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, if you control 7 or more lands, exile Nissa, then return her to the battlefield transformed under her owner's control. So if I have 7 or more lands, she officially flips and becomes Nissa Sage Animist. So she has 3 loyalty to start. The loyalty thing, the way it works is she basically she can only be targeted like a player can be targeted. So she can't be attacked. She has to be specifically targeted. So instead of attacking me, you have to be like, I'm attacking her, and I can block with my other creatures as normal. She gets 3 loyalty, and you can use that to do any of these abilities. There's 1 ability that gives you +1 loyalty, and 2 abilities that take away loyalty. Once she reaches 0 loyalty, she's dead, so you typically don't want to kill her yourself, and that's kind of her health. So her first ability, that gives her 1, is reveal the top card of your library. If it's a land card, put it into the battlefield. Otherwise, put it into your hand. So for 1 mana, for gaining 1 loyalty, which is great, I can just draw. I can spend 2 loyalty and put a legendary 4/4 green elemental creature token named Ashaya, the Awoken World, onto the battlefield. All right. I could spend 7, untap up to 6 target lands. They become 6/6 elemental creatures. They're still not lands. So I could take my lands and just basically wake them up and make them creatures. That's fucking awesome. That is really cool. That makes me want to make a fucking deck based around her. Could be fun for like I don't know. Can you use that as like a commander in a commander deck? That's awesome. Booster packs, man. I'm telling you. I'm loving it. Oh, this is so much fun. So we got, oh, there's Patrick the Star again. We got another mythic. This time it's a mythic artifact. It's a legendary artifact called Alhamaral's Archive. Cool. For 5 mana, I could play it. If you would gain life, you gain twice that much life instead. If you would draw a card, except the first one. If you would draw a card, except the first one, you draw on each of your draw steps. Draw 2 cards instead. So instead of my first draw step, every other time I draw a card, this would be great in a blue deck, blue-white, white deck even, I can draw 2 instead. That's really good. We're down to our last 4 already. 2 mythics and an extra rare in one of my packs. I feel like this has been pretty fucking good so far. At least I'm enjoying the shit out of it. So we're just going to kind of skip through. Titanic Growth. That's a good card. It's a good common. Send to sleep. Tap 2 targets. Reeve Soul. Awesome. I like it. Put that in there. Put Prism Ring. All right. And we got another green one. And nothing special. So the green one is an enchantment for 2. It's called Evolutionary Leap. It's another green card. Tap 1 mana, sacrifice a creature. Reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal a creature card. Put that card into your hand and the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. So shuffle them and then put them on the bottom of your library. Useful enchantment. I can see that being pretty good, especially if you want to draw a lot. I'm just trying to think, like, I'm not used to enchantment green decks. I've never played a lot of them. I played against a lot of them, but I never played with a lot of them. So some good ones, I think, so far. I'm hoping you can see it. I keep leaning forward to check to make sure. Okay. We got another blue one. Another one of these things. So we got Nissa already. So Jace is in this pack, I'm assuming. Or in this set. Alhamaro High Arbiter. He's a blue for 6 mana. Flying. As Alhamaret High Arbiter enters the battlefield, each opponent reveals his or her hand. You choose the name of non-land card revealed this way. You choose the name of a non-land card revealed this way. Your opponent can't cast spells with the chosen name as long as this creature is on the battlefield. So if they have a particular spell or instant that I don't want them to play, or creature I don't want them to play, I just look at their hands and I go, that I'm naming that card. That card cannot be played as long as this creature is still alive. That is very, very good. Another really good control, powerful blue card that I could have some fun with, no doubt. So here we go. I wonder if all the planeswalkers are mythics. Another Mage Ring Network. Consecrate by Blood. And all right. We're getting a lot of these weird cards that just like mark one of these. If you mark this card to represent a double-faced planeswalker card in your library. So it's like if I don't want to like play the card or something, I don't understand. If I want to like protect the card, I guess I need to get card protectors now. So we got Sword of the Animist, another artifact rare. Equipped creature gets +1/+1. This costs 2 mana, by the way. Whenever equipped creature attacks, you may search your library for a basic land card, put it onto the battlefield tapped, then shuffle your library, and the equip cost is 2. So it's a mana ramping card. Last pack, everybody. Last pack. Not bad in terms of time. This will definitely be not the last fucking pack of cards I crack open. Here we go. What are we going to get? Who knows? Ooh, Mighty Leap. Again, I'm still seeing cards that I don't recognize, so that's good. Alright. And we're going to get Gilt Leaf Winnower again. So we've already seen this card. A little bit of a disappointing final draw. But, hey, you know, do what you do with it. And then, you know, nothing useful here. So that's going to be our draws. That's going to be it. That's everything we've got so far. A lot more cards, essentially. We have a lot more cards, which is really fun. It's just fun opening them, and you know, collecting cards is a good time. I can't help it, and it's going to be a fun hobby once I actually get the fight nights happening and all that good stuff. So, for sure, keep an eye out for that stuff. Thank you guys so much. Again, the support on the opening of the last one was so ridiculous. I didn't expect it. That I'm excited to keep doing stuff like this. Again, it won't flood the channel. Don't worry. You'll see it once every couple of weeks, maybe. I'm excited about it. That's all. And we'll be seeing some fight night stuff and all kinds of stuff as we get that planned out and we get some schedules working properly and all that good stuff. But if you guys are pumped, I'm pumped. I'm looking forward to bringing you more of this kind of stuff. And let me know what you guys thought of the cards I drew if you play Magic. If you don't play Magic and you're still watching, well, I appreciate the support, and I hope it's at least somewhat enjoyable for you, as it's enjoyable for me. And as I put these away, I'll go ahead and say, oh Jesus, there we go. Put that in there. Is there anything I can like separate these with? I thought I had something, but I'm not seeing anything. What'd I do with it? There it is. Anyway, I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.